Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. What I say for today's video? I'm also really curious about today's video. Today's beer specifically. So it's from Hop Butcher for the World and was brewing. And it's called Welcome to Gardesville. And it's a Spalter Select Hopped Wallonian Oktoberfest Lager 6%. So it's a lot of words that I don't use normally, beer reviews or in my real life. So Spalter is a location in Germany, so that makes sense for Oktoberfest. So Spalter Select Hopped. So maybe someone from Spalter selected these hops. But Wallonian, that's Belgium. So I don't know if this is like a Belgian-influenced Oktoberfest, maybe. What was the other thing I was going to say about it? Select Oktoberfest Lager. I guess that's it. 6% ABV. Like, Gardesville, like Beer Day Guard. I don't know. Why I don't know what Guard. I didn't look up the name. Like why? Maybe what? Welcome to Gardesville makes sense. So if you know any information about this, please comment below. And the beer is. So it's October 5th. Today's what? The 20. About 20 days old. 19 days. Yeah, tomorrow's the 25th. Anyway, yeah, let's get into it. Like I've been doing, I'll wait to read the tasting notes until I give all my thoughts on it. Proper glassware, so I know it's going to taste better. All right. Nice can art. Should show that. Dan Jets always delivers. So, there is a slight haze. I don't think it's just it's not just chill haze. But I mean, you can see through it. It's this beautiful light orange color. It's kind of where yellow and orange come to meet. And it is unfiltered. It is better than me using the haze word. Just over a finger. I say barely off white. Decent amount. This is really barely off white. It's pretty close to me just saying white. But it's just enough not white that it's like the the poster child for barely off white colored head. Depending on what layer you're looking at of the bubbles, compact or starting to be soapy on top. It looks. I was expecting more filtered, so it looks a little different than I was thinking, and I was thinking maybe more of a copper color. So yeah, it's not. I'm not saying it looks wrong to the style because I'm not exactly sure what they're going for with this beer, as I was saying earlier. But not exactly what I was thinking it would look like. Let's see about the aroma. So right off the bat, you definitely get that lagered fermentation smell. You can smell the fermentation. Such a clean beer that's going to not be... it's not... I said this in a different video recently. It's not like some, like in a double IPA or something, maybe the yeast can kick out bubble gum or something. Or speaking of Belgium, I've had that in Belgian beers. So it's not that. It's just... This is a product that's been fermented, it's very much that kind of a yeasty fermentation thing. I get a slight nuttiness, actually. A little bit of just like generic spiciness, not specific like fall spices or whatever, just a little spiciness. Not quite rye, but maybe that's like the closest thing is like how rye can give a little spiciness to beer. Some grassy elements for sure. Smells nice. Let's see about the taste. Cheers. Thanks again, Hop Butcher. Some sweetness to it. You do taste, like I was saying about the aroma, where like you kind of like, it's such a light and crisp beer. You can taste the fermentation. You can taste some of that light yeast, but a yeast that, like I said with the bubblegum thing, a yeast that's not. I mean, although actually maybe the yeast is kicking out a lot of the flavors I'm tasting. So maybe I shouldn't say that, but you get a little bit of that grassy thing. It follows the nose pretty well, I guess, is the short version of this. little bit of like a sweet corn, and almost a savory, earthy straw. It's funny, like I want to say caramel, but I mean that different than like, like a bourbon barrel aged stout. I might say caramel, but it is unmistakably a soft caramel note. It seems redundant, I keep wanting to say soft this, soft that, but that is what this beer is. There's a lot of things going on, but they're relatively soft. There's a little bit of like a black tea element as well. Even a kiss of lemon with it. All right, what do they have to say? Crisp cracker, garden herbs, peanut shell. Huh. Okay. Was it the last Hot Butcher beer I did? It was one that was only, it was a IPA El Dorado only. At the very end, I was like, I get like, it's not raspberry, it's cherry. That's the thing. And that was the bottom tasting note. And a similar thing happened here. I've had a few people, especially like a, I don't know, Heady Topper or something, like New England, like old school New England IPA. I think it's the yeast. I get a little bit of a peanut thing. I've had a couple people say they know what I'm talking about, but it seems like the vast majority of people are like, I've never tasted or smelled anything peanut-y in an IPA. I think you're crazy, basically. But it's the same thing that I'm talking about with those beers, I'm talking about in this beer. So the fact that the brewery was like, this is an element of the beer is making me really happy, just like that cherry thing. Crisp cracker. I don't get the malt in that way. Maybe if I drank more lagers, I would be used to me, it's all that, or so much of it is that fermentation taste I'm not used to tasting in beers. What I call like lagered funk sometimes, or often I do. That is such a taste I'm not used to, that like I can't help but like have that thing be in my face. And I'm not getting malt really in any way. I'm not saying it's not there. Just this is my own ignorance. Garden herbs. I mean, I'm getting a lot of grass. I think we're describing the same thing there. And I mean, peanut shells. I've had a good day, but this is probably the best thing that's happened today. So that's pretty rad. And it's a light beer, so I'm going to do another beer. So I'm pretty excited about that too. Usually I don't do 2 beers in a day. Have you had this beer before? Have you had any Oktoberfest? Have you ever had a beer that you thought had, except a beer that has peanuts in it, a beer that without peanuts added, or like PB2, where you're like, this has a nutty thing, or this has a peanut butter thing? Anything, everything, comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both of those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.